Golf Central on YouTube, brought to you by the Chrome Soft Golf Ball from Callaway.
And hi again, everyone. I'm Jimmy Roberts, and this is your Golf Central update. Well, the official World Golf Rankings, a big issue in the game lately. Today, Jon Rahm, world number 5, in the press room with a spicy take on the subject. That's a day after the world number 1, Rory McIlroy, had a totally different opinion.
I'm going to be as blunt as I can. I think the OWGR right now is laughable.
Laughable?
Laughable. The fact that the RSM doesn't have any in the top 20 in the world, has more points at this event where we have 7 of the top 20, is laughable. The fact that Wentworth had less points than Napa, having players in the top 10 in the world, is laughable. I understand what they're trying to do with the depth of field, but having the best players in the world automatically makes a tournament better. I don't care what their system says. I think they've made a mistake. I think some aspects of it might be beneficial, but I think they've devalued the value of the better players. Like East Lake, for example, you have the 30 best players of the year, should not be punished just because it's a smaller field, right? Depth of field doesn't mean better tournament. And I could go on and on. I think it's they've missed the mark on that stance quite a bit.
You look at the two different fields, you've got a 50-man field here versus a 144-man field there. So just in terms of how the strength of field is calculated, they have 90 more players to contribute to their strength of field. So the reason that this has got 21 points and RSM's got 39 is the person that wins the RSM has to beat 139 other guys. You only have to beat 49 other guys here. So it's a much fairer system. I think it rewards people that it's pure numbers, strength of field. Has it hurt people's feelings? Has it upset people? Yes, because people have been used to getting a certain amount of world ranking points in one event and now it's dropped. But I would say those events were getting more than they should have been getting. So I think it's the fairest system that you can come up with right now. And a lot of work went into that. 5 years of algorithms and analysis and work went on into the system. So it's not as if it changed overnight. A lot went into it. So it's the best one that we can come up with right now. And I think it'll take a while. It'll take another 18 months for it all to play out, for everything to level off as everyone gets 2 years into the rolling system. It's a little bit of a, as it's been rolled out, there's a little bit of discrepancy, but once we get 2 years into it and everyone's played a full 2 years and they have their, whatever their minimum divisor is in all the events, I think you'll see a fairer reflection of where everyone is ranked in the world that is eligible to be ranked.
Who doesn't love a good argument? Well, we've talked a lot about how McIlroy has used his voice this year. So too has Rahm. And at times, it has been an opinion contrary to Rory's. Let's take a look at the top players competing at the RSM and the DP World Tour Championship. With a larger field, RSM has more world ranking points, as McIlroy said, available, even though Dubai has 7 players ranked in the top 25 to the RSM Classics, none after the withdrawal of Tony Finau. Well, the PGA Tour heads to Sea Island Golf Club in southern Georgia for the RSM Classic. 12th time the event has been held. They'll use 2 different tracks, Thursday and Friday, the Seaside course and the Plantation course, with Seaside being the solo course for the weekend. Sea Island Golf Club, located in St. Simons Island, the current home to several PGA Tour players. Harris English, Brian Harman, and Keith Mitchell are a few of the Georgia alums teeing off this week. And there are also longtime St. Simons Island residents like Davis Love III and the incoming Ryder Cup captain, Zach Johnson. This will be the last event of the fall series, which will change dramatically next year. Here's what the players think will happen in 2023.
Yeah, I mean, this is my 12th year out here, and I remember my first year on tour was 2012, and that was the last year of the old PGA Tour schedule before the wraparound season. And we still had fall events to where if you wanted to play, you could play, and if you made it all the way to the Tour Championship and didn't want to play in the fall, you didn't have to play, and you wouldn't really lose points or feel like you get left behind in the fall. So I kind of wish they went back to that, to where they still have the fall events, because I love the fall events. I love the RSM Classic. I don't really want to see those go away, but just to have it, if guys want to play, they can play, and maybe it's not attached to the FedEx Cup. Maybe it is. We'll see, but I loved it back in 2012. I feel like it gave you free time if you wanted to have an off season and have a couple months off.
I've typically played twice in the fall, which even if I've played fairly decent in the fall, I start out in Hawaii and I feel like I'm playing catch up until the summer. And that's a tough feeling, because I'm not taking time off. I'm specifically taking time off to help me perform better the following year. But also know that there's a lot of amazing sponsors and people and companies behind our fall events, and we've had a great run here in the fall for, like you said, about 8 or 9, 10 years. And I don't really know, to be honest, what I would do. It's hard to make everyone happy. It seems like half the tour wants to go home for 3 months and half the tour wants to keep playing.
More storylines in the fall, I think, is better for the game of golf. So that's what I have. I think you're going to have a pretty heavy fall. I mean, guys aren't going to take. I mean, there's some guys are going to take those months off, but I think plenty of them are going to play. I mean, not always all our top players finish in the top 70, so they may want to claw their way back through the fall, and it's a good way to get your game back intact. It's the fall series and season, and I think that's what will happen. I don't think there's been a lot of talk the fall's going to be weak. I don't think the fall's going to be weak.
I'm still in the mind frame that the season starts in January. That's my old school mentality, pre-FedEx Cup and all that. So I like the changes that are coming in time. If I was commissioner, I think we should all have to play, maybe 1 or 2 little pro-ams here and there for, a little bit of cash, a little bit of fun, hang out with some of our sponsors, and then we all have to go watch football on Saturdays and Sundays. I have to watch football Friday nights because I got a boy that's playing in high school and getting ready for the state championship. Go Knights. So my fall would revolve around football and hanging out with family, tailgating, maybe some dark brown water and some frosty mugs to boot. No, but all seriousness, I like what's around the horizon. I think Jay's done a tremendous job. I think the board's doing a great job, and seeing some new additions will be great for our entire product.
It's been all kinds of different formats in the fall. Played a long season all the way to the Tour Championship, which would run almost into November, and it's all different kinds of. I just want to keep PGA Tour golf going as long as we can. So it's changed a little bit in the fall. It'll be different again next year, but as long as we play, give guys playing opportunities. When I was on the board, that's what we said every meeting: playing opportunities, playing opportunities. So creating more playing opportunities. That's why we play 2 golf courses at the RSM Classic, because it gets more guys a chance to play. So ideally, if I was commissioner for the day, I'd make this an elevated event and make sure that Davis got to play for a few more years, selfishly, play for the big money. But no, as long as we keep giving money to charity and the fall continues on for the young guys to have playing opportunities, then mission accomplished here.
Every tour player says they want an off season until they get one. So, in my opinion, I laugh at that notion. I think guys want to feel like they're not losing ground by not playing. So, in that category or how we're going to do it, they're going to feel okay taking time off, but there's no way they're going to stay away for 3 months. I think you'll see a lot of top players still playing.